Sanya, a 13-year-old curious city girl studying in class 8. Mummy, Sanya's mother, who facilitates them in understanding different concepts. Kabir, Sanya's 14-year-old brother, who helps her contemplate things and perform various activities.
Sanya, you were talking about an assignment yesterday. What is it and what help do you want from me? Yes, I do need your help. We have studied air pollution in our class and teacher has given us some homework about the same. So what do we need to do? Our teacher has asked to observe within 1 kilometer of our residence where we need to see. How is the material in shops packaged? Observe how the dried leaves of the parks treated. Are there community garbage dumps? What happens to the garbage? Is it recycled or burnt? How many full-grown trees can you see in the area? Can you check on your mobile app what is the pollution level that is showing in your area? These are all the things we have to observe and note. That is a lot of homework, Sanya. I think we should get started or it would be difficult to complete it. You are right. Let's ask Mummy if we can go. Mummy, last night I had told you about the assignment my science teacher has given. Can Kabir and I go and do the tasks? Yes, I remember. I thought about this and felt that I could also come along with you and see how this assignment works. After all, I'm also one of the committee members of the Resident Welfare Association. I need to know what we are doing to reduce pollution in the area. This is great. Let us go. It will be like a mini picnic around the block. I will get water bottles and 2 umbrellas. Friends, come along with us and let us explore our neighborhood. Let us go to the park first since it is closest to our home.
Look on your right side. The dried leaves that had fallen from the tree have been collected and are being burnt.
Sanya, can you tell the name of one harmful chemical that is released when leaves are burnt? I know, carbon monoxide. Friends, do you remember the combustion process of leaves from chapter 6? What is the residue of the process? You are right. Smoke, flame, ash.
This is not the right process. We should be composting these leaves to create manure. I will make a note and talk to the committee about this.
Let us see how the garbage collection process works. Let us go. At our place, the garbage collectors from municipality come at our doors to collect garbage daily. But what happens after that? Let us ask the staff. They might tell us. The garbage collectors from municipality said that they only segregate materials like iron, plastic and wood from the garbage dump. Wet and solid waste segregation is not possible because people at their homes don't segregate them, so all of it get mixed up. Even organic waste like leftover fruits, food from hotels and vegetables is dumped here, which gets mixed with the other garbage. Most importantly, all of this waste is sent to a dumping yard where only a fraction of it is processed. Rest is burned. Do you know how much metric ton of waste is produced in a city daily? Wait, let me think. I had read it somewhere. Is it between 8,000 to 9,000 metric tons per day? Absolutely right. Friends, just think about this. If 1 metric ton means 1000 kg, then how much would 9000 metric tons be? And how much pollution that would cause if burnt? This is really scary situation.
Let us see what are the shops in our community selling. I can observe that most of them are selling general day-to-day things like pulses, rice, milk, clothes, etc. But the packaging of all these products is in plastic. Rightly observed.
That is true. Whenever I buy chips or a cold drink, it comes in a packaging of plastic wrap or bottle. And after eating the chips, I throw the wrapper in the dustbin. It may never be recycled. Friends, now we know that whatever we eat or drink has a consequence on our nature.
That is why I keep asking to not eat so many chips and drink cold drinks. It is bad for your health and for nature too.
I will keep that in mind from now on. Kabir, Mummy, look at this huge building. It looks like it is a factory.
Sanya, you're partially right. It was indeed a factory. Though it is a non-functional for last 15 years, the factory would produce a lot of smoke, which is why it was closed down by the local government.
Yes, our teacher was talking about how Taj Mahal had begun to lose its shine because of similar factory pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. This also caused acid rain.
I had read about it on the internet too. Okay, shall we move forward?
I'm feeling tired. Can we go home?
Have you noted everything else needed for the homework?
Yes, I have. Let us go then. Kabir, please walk on the pavement. There are too many vehicles on the road.
Yes, Sanya. Thank you for reminding. Tell me, Sanya, how do vehicles add to air pollution?
When vehicles like cars, bikes run on the petrol, the combustion process of the fuel creates smoke and lets out carbon monoxide. Friends, remember we had learned this in chapter 6. Tell me, what fuel should the vehicle be running on instead of petrol? Yes, you are absolutely right. It is CNG.
Even the home appliances add to air pollution. CFCs, meaning chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in the cooling appliances like refrigerator and air conditioner. These are harmful as they destroy the ozone layer. When we were buying our fridge, I was careful not to buy one that uses CFCs.
This is great information. We have reached home too.
So, what all do we know about our locality?
We know that there is no proper garbage disposal technique in place in our locality, which leads to it being burned. The packaging of everyday items like food and clothing is still being done in plastic. Dried leaves in the park are being burnt, giving rise to carbon monoxide. We have about 30 fully grown-up trees in our locality.
What are the things we are yet to know?
We are yet to know how many homes in our locality have appliances that have CFCs in them. How many people use vehicles that use petrol as a fuel? How many people segregate the waste in their homes? Friends, can you help me with this? Can you ask these 3 questions to 10 people in your locality? I'm feeling sad that we as humans are still polluting the earth and the very air we breathe. How can we change this? We are too young.
We most definitely can, but we have to do some planning.
Tell me more.
We can talk to the people in our locality and ask them to not take polythene bags. We can do a monthly plantation drive. We can also talk to people about segregating their waste. Yes, these are some good ideas. I can also talk to the committee and see how can we have better waste disposal systems and if we can start composting the dried leaves instead of burning them.
Right. I can also reach out to my classmates and ask our school headmaster to introduce a cleanliness oath in school. Friends, I'm feeling much better now. All of us can contribute to a better planet. We can all do our own bit. What steps will you take to reduce air pollution in your locality? We learned that air pollution is a serious problem and it can cause serious health issues. We can reduce air pollution if we plant more trees, compost the dried leaves instead of burning them, segregate waste so that less to none goes to the dump yard. It will also reduce the amount of waste being burnt. Use fuels like CNG in vehicles to reduce the amount of carbon monoxide released in the air. Buy appliances that do not have CFCs. That way we can save the ozone layer from being destroyed further. Industrial area and residential areas need to be at separate location or the harmful chemicals like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide can mix with the air to cause acid rains. We can also do many things to reduce air pollution. Talk to our neighbors about it. Ask shopkeepers to stop using polythene. Ask resident welfare associations or gram panchayats to build and use compost bins. Buy electronic appliances with no CFCs.